Satyaki pushed his way through the battlefield, fighting fiercely with every step. He killed many warriors and defeated even more as he pressed on. Finally, he reached the area where Arjuna was battling his way into the needle-shaped formation of the Kaurava army. As Satyaki got closer to Arjuna, Vyasa, a hero from the Yadava clan, challenged him to a duel. Though Satyaki was exhausted from the relentless march and fighting, he accepted the challenge, as they had long been rivals. The two warriors launched into a furious battle. Soldiers nearby paused their own fighting to watch the intense duel. Both Satyaki and Vyasa exchanged powerful arrows, and the fight seemed evenly matched. Satyaki managed to bring down Vyasava's flag, but Vyasa quickly retaliated by cutting down Satyaki's flagpole. The battle grew fiercer, and soon both warriors' chariots were destroyed, their horses killed, and their charioteers struck down. With their vehicles wrecked, they leapt down and continued the fight on foot, wielding swords and shields. After a long and brutal struggle, Satyaki began to show signs of exhaustion. Vyasa eventually disarmed him, and Satyaki fell to the ground. Vyasa sat on his chest and taunted him, saying, "You came to save Arjuna, but now, who will save you?" The soldiers watching cried out, "Satyaki is finished. Satyaki is dead." Krishna, seeing Satyaki's desperate situation, turned to Arjuna and said, "Look, Arjuna, Satyaki came all this way for you, risking his life. Now you must save him. Don't hesitate, any delay, and Satyaki will be lost." Vyasa and Satyaki were engaged in a one-on-one duel, and it was against the warrior code for Arjuna to interfere. But as Arjuna looked at Satyaki on the ground, Vyasa raised his sword for a final blow. Without wasting a moment, Arjuna fired a crescent-shaped arrow, cutting off Vyasava's right arm. The sword, along with the severed hand, fell to the ground. Vyasa looked around and saw that Arjuna was the one who had fired the arrow. He said angrily, "How can you call yourself a hero now, Arjuna? You've broken the rules of combat by interfering in our duel. How will you face your noble brother Yudhishthira after committing such a dishonorable act? No true warrior would ever stoop so low. You must have been influenced by your charioteer, Krishna. You and Yudhishthira keep claiming that you are fighting for righteousness, but today, you've already lost that battle, no matter how many Kauravas you defeat tomorrow." After speaking, Vyasa laid out his arrows on the battlefield and sat on a bed of spikes, preparing himself for meditation. The soldiers around him shouted, "Hail Vyasa!" and "Shame on Arjuna and Krishna!" Hearing this, Arjuna addressed the soldiers. "Friends, I stepped in because Vyasa was about to kill an unarmed warrior who had stopped fighting and was defenseless on the ground. Satyaki came here to sacrifice himself for me, and it is my duty to protect him. If this is a sin, I will accept the consequences." Then, turning to Vyasa, Arjuna said, "Honorable warrior, why did you not speak about righteousness yesterday when your allies surrounded and killed the unarmed Abhimanyu like a pack of hunters? You were part of that crime. This is war, and I only did what I had to." Vyasa lowered his head in silence. Meanwhile, Satyaki, who had regained his strength, stood up, grabbed the sword lying nearby, and moved toward Vyasa. Despite Krishna and Arjuna rushing from their chariot, shouting, "Stop! Stop!" Satyaki, driven by anger and revenge, beheaded the old warrior Vyasa. The Kaurava soldiers cried out, "Shame on Satyaki! Shame on Arjuna! Shame on Krishna!" Arjuna, feeling conflicted, turned to Krishna and said, "Janardana, I'm not sure if what I did was right. Violence is terrible, and war is nothing but violence. Can there really be such a thing as a righteous war? Again, I see the wisdom in Yudhishthira's words. Even if we start a war for a just cause, violence drags us down. Look at the mockery we're facing. What is the point of victory if it leads to this?" Krishna replied, "Righteousness is a complete vision. If you focus on a single moment, ignoring the bigger picture, it will distort the truth. Satyaki's survival is crucial, and his strength will serve righteousness. You acted with clarity and courage, which is what was needed. Time is slipping away. Let's move forward." Arjuna urged Krishna, "Keep going. Let's get to our goal quickly. I believe we've managed to overcome all the obstacles so far." With that, the chariot sped forward, continuing on its path,